Hello, it was people I had virtually nothing to do with and completely nothing to do with. You know, haters, weirdos, tied to doctors with drug clicks with them and with evidence rackets rolls with them, police recorded tied to it. And now, that was when I was a kid. But now I've caught them still tied to the drug dealing with the schools, tied to evidences rackets rolls. Now this is what I've been trying to complain since I was a kid, but courts don't let the rules used because of their roles with the schools and with this Leahy family and with others tied to the court, recorded tied to them criminally, but uncharged because they're not letting. There's a reason why they're supposed to have innocence into proven guilty. That was supposed to go with where you're supposed to have a conversation where you talk to the people who are charged in case they're set up, which they are every day. They're abused through courts. The courts also have roles with sexual predators, evidence crimes with them, recorded. And they hit them first. First they arrested me with lies. They still won't take down the media articles that were proven incorrect by the same court. Because the same court also, in other words, they're hiding from federal agencies, pretending they didn't realize. At the same time, they realized, and they're hiding the recorded proofs from that. And this is related to 9/11 crimes also recorded. Evidences crimes, but also extortion acts and drug crimes, sexual crimes against kids and stuff like that being used to hide the parents with the roles. Like Leahy family was recorded with 9/11 crime rolls. And police also been pretending that surveillance equipment recorded things that it didn't record. Leahy family, they don't even know me. They pretended to know me with their friends too, like Anthony Yagman next to Wethersfield High School. Other houses there, I never met the people that were from my grade. Eric Jensen also recorded and confessed to crimes that were connected to another house on the street on that side of the high school. And then I recorded KKK stuff tied to them with that, and with another house, Fred Grisette. When he went to a private school, sold drugs at my school. I did that for my health class project. They also showed us a gang video on Latin gangs, and they told us about beads, and it was just right when, at the same time, when they had a person with beads coming through, and that's also tied to confessions and to crimes recorded tied to the a church with the park in Wethersfield, Millwoods Park. So we have all kinds of police. We have a John Maiano and an Ian St. John are also recorded tied to FBI crime. Recorded FBI crime. Criminal FBI connections to their roles with confessions and recorded crimes. And that's with other police forms too. Rocky Hill Police said they have roles with Sclora family has been pretending they had conversations with me, knew me since I was a kid. 10 phase in relationship to, in other words, police are using the right to lie. Police forms are using the right to lie to evidence fabricate, and then cover that up to say, oh, they're undercover and they defend their identities. So they're using Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like this they're making passions like saying, oh, this person is being suspended for emotional. In other words, they're not allowing the demonstrated federal crimes in sequence demonstrated. They're not allowing fake conversations and fake relationships to people recorded tied to criminals that are doing that to cover lie progressions with the area needed by the courts and by their predators with the area through time with and as drug clicks tied to this Leahy too. And to other, like a John Maiano, tied to them criminally too, recorded. Also tied to the, various natures of courts at once, not just all the New Britain Superior Court, also tied to sequence shifts that hid their court's roles with rape threats. And their court's roles getting me arrested for trying to report confessions related to the court from people with the military, people tied to police families, all asked for help because of the relationship to the agencies with the schools and with the judges, police, with the schools and with them using that with the evidence rackets tied to criminal justice, with intercampus, and then with the databases. So they have stewards listening to agencies that have roles originally in state, breaching nature roles using databases to cover their roles with evidences rackets originally in state. We have our originally state evidence rackets causes, database rackets, ulterior database rackets relationships to an organized breaching crime method against our a torture method against our fact treatment nature. This is what colonization was with laws that were enabled for. Still entertained too, black and white. Still no equality, free speech. Still the Constitution abridged. So we have people hiding on Facebook and Twitter, and not only hiding, but they're sending people online with federal crimes that are recorded. But then there's nowhere to report it because they're discrediting things with illusions they type in databases, quoting the names of surveillance equipment, saying the names of surveillance equipment, and then pretending it quoted something by just putting it in quotes. In other words, to hide sequence shifts and fabrications with court databases too. They're hiding lie progressions by creating passion crimes and illusions with sequence shifts in the areas, because that's needed to tell federal agencies that they're hiding from, and within as their own, and within how that was motivated, is motivated. So we're lost. So Wethersfield High School, in the middle school too, was also recorded recorded tied to further sexual predators, tied to the and further crime acts, evidence crimes, tied to the upskirt nature with the kids. And his confessions further regarding police Facebook. Also, that's recorded tied to Facebook crimes and crimes against the kids and the students of the school with the group that was threatened to rape them first. Before they arrested me and hiding that, because it's tied to the police and the courts together with their drug cliques growing up. What's his name? Joshua Julian. I never had a conversation with him in my life, but online. I asked him to leave me alone for years. See, they've been. That's why they arrested me for harassment, for responding to sexual rape threats against grammar school kids, and they hid that from the parents by lying to me. One of the people that lied was a Christine Tardet. I believe that's a Christine Bedard or something like that was her maiden name. She's confessed and recorded further criminal involved with the abuses of the kids. She touched me to fake conversations because she's nuts. She's a bad girl. She was in a speech class with me with John Mayan. I went to a prom with her. This guy was making all kinds of confessions too about this. I was trying to report that before they did that. They did that to hide because the police pushed me in a hospital tied to this Leahy family that pretended to know me when I was there. After, then they don't correct their lies, recorded lies. Attached me to fake conversations, forged doctors' names. They're using the, not letting people have a right to make a complaint. Force them, 3 times they did this. There's also a Rafino with federal crimes that doesn't know me, pretended to know me with sex predators, with the police. And the police block my Facebook posts, and they tell slanders about me. What do they think? They're gonna have to go. Joe DeMauro also confessed to roles growing up with all kinds of confessions about his roles with the police officers, also for like Mendez brothers. He said they had ties to what is it called? Steroids with them, and like with doctors tied to them. So these are Wethersfield police now that are adults that grew up with the drug dealing roles and with database and evidence rackets roles, slander roles. I only know that person from confessions. They walk up to you as slander tied to I did a health class project on KKK also tied to this Leahy family. I didn't know his name at the time. I hadn't met him yet. See, they've been doing live progressions tied to how they missed their obligations to respond to me, to my They didn't even ask me a question about. I record the drug dealers with the school right on top of the school, the house right in front of the school, tied to the ones on the side. I never had anything to do with the side. The kid in the front said that he used to do it, and then with my neighbors had ties to them and to the officers involved with the drugs, like a Kalala family, also recorded and confessed involved with the crimes with the school. With a Phil Kalala who also confessed with evidence record rolls that were used to hide the rest of the ones in the confessions tied to the upskirt nature with the principal that was arrested with the school. And there's more with the court and with the police that arrested him with that also, that they used the arrest to hide what they were doing first. We got some sick courts too. We have some sick various natures of courts at the same time. And with their court police, with the air recorded tied to pattern confessions with the area and stuff like that since 9/11. And it was used for 9/11 crimes that were verbal. There's federal crimes that are verbal. They're stacking them because then they have to have people go back and not be able to tell the truth.